So we are continuing our North America tour. Today we are in Grand Forks International, North Dakota, and we are going to be heading over to Edmonton International Airport in Alberta, Canada. So oddly enough, although this is a fairly long flight, and I'm just checking SimBrief right now. I believe, well, I see it in Flight Simulator as I'm just double checking out. That's the wrong SimBrief. That is the wrong one. Okay, so SimBrief has this at 3 hours and 32 minutes for this flight, which seems like a lot. I was hoping it wouldn't be this long, but it is. But the weird thing is that the flight plan for this flight is actually really short. So if we hop into the cockpit, and kind of glad to do so because that ground power unit was pretty loud. Our flight plan is literally just this. Flight plan is just one waypoint. That's about 350 nautical miles away. So we're gonna go ahead and get the plane started now. Our flight today, our cruising altitude is going to be 26,000 feet. I might go up a little further to maybe 30,000. But for now, we'll go up to 26. And we'll go ahead and start the right engine. While the engine's starting,
your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Crap, I forgot to turn my beacon on. Jeez. Anyway, so while we're here, just gonna check the weather report. And let's see. Bookmarks are all over the place right now. So the weather in Grand Forks today is we have the wind out of 350, so that's kind of almost north at 13 knots with 13 knots. Visibility is good today, about 9 nautical miles. Temperature is 2 degrees Celsius or 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Ceiling is 7,500 feet. And the clouds are broken at 7,500 feet. So everything looks good there. If we hop over to Edmonton, we have the wind kind of out of the southeast at 11 knots. Temperature 7 degrees. And the ceiling is 22,000 feet. Scattered at 17,000, few clouds at 9,000. So overall weather's pretty good in Edmonton as well. So we'll check it a little further on the way. We have our engines fully started now. Oops. we are good to go. Gonna turn the rest of my lights on. Taxi lights can come on.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
We're not supposed to do that. Pitot heat can come on. And we are given runway 35 left for takeoff today, so I'm just going to bring that up over here in Navigraph just so I can see where I'm going. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight past through all this ground stuff. Okay, could do a notch of flaps in the meantime. And yeah, this is 35 left or right in front of us. So we're just gonna taxi down into position. I think what I'll do is just gonna go up to 30,000 because this is gonna be a pretty long flight. Alright, so before you head on the runway, I'm just going to set 30,000 as my altitude, and I'm going to set my cabin altitude as well. Yeah, looks about right. I'm going to taxi lights off. Put our landing lights on, our strobes on. Nothing is coming. Actually forgot to put my props to full. Now we can get going. Rotate.
Airborne time log.
Gear up. And I'm gonna start the timer as well. Takeoff is looking good. Gonna pull my flaps up. Alright, yaw damper on. And we're going to turn on autopilot. Go into nav mode. Flight level change. Oops. Let's go for 170. So this is the view in North Dakota right now. Not too much going on. It's pretty rural rural state. And of course today we are rocking the retro colors on the King Air, so we'll just go outside. Orbit Alliance. For some reason I really like the color scheme on the King Air. Just it looks good to me. I don't know why. So while we're climbing, just gonna show our flight plan, and as you can see, it is essentially one pretty giant straight shot towards Edmonton. So this is probably the simplest flight ever, considering the extremely long distance. But when I come back, I'm going to be discussing the approach, and we would have started our descent into Edmonton. So sit back, everyone, enjoy the flight, and I'll catch you on the way back. Cool. So what is going on, my beautiful people? Welcome back. So we are just under 40 minutes out from Edmonton now, so we've officially crossed over into Canada. We are flying over Alberta as we speak. So Alberta is in the central, look at it as like the central part of Canada, what they refer to as the prairies. So that's like Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, those sort of places. So we are heading towards Edmonton now, so we should be getting ready for descent in a little bit. So as usual, we're gonna go and do our briefing for our descent. So I have the charts for Edmonton International pulled up in SimBrief now. So we've been given runway 20 for arrival, and so we will use the runway 20. The RNAV Zulu approach into runway 20. So you let's have a quick look at that. So let's say right now, since we are going to be approaching from the east, we can do the VOGAP transition, and so we'll hit there at 5,000 feet, and we will descend down to the runway from there. So we'll VOGAP 5,000 feet down to Gabbett. Gabbett will be at 5,000 feet as well, and then we will descend at Ongo. So we'll start our descent there. We'll descend down to 4,000 feet, and that is where we will hopefully capture the glide path and head towards landing. So let's go ahead and plug this approach in, and let's go from there. Alright, so let's go up to the cockpit. So let's go to procedures and do the approach. So we'll be selecting the OnAir 20 Zulu approach, and we'll do the VOGAP transition. So let's go ahead and let's plug that in. Alright. So pretty straightforward now. I actually have no idea what the plane is doing right now. For some reason it is turning back. What the heck? Alright, let's not do that. So I'm going to go into heading mode. Let's go back to where we were coming from. So it's something weird going on. I don't know, I've experienced this before where the flight plan is just like, you make changes to the flight plan, it just causes weird issues. So I don't know why it's doing that. Actually, what we can do is we can activate the approach. So let's remove it. Okay. So removing it is putting us back where we need to be. Okay. I'm going to try now to... Oh, we did it again. Nope. Move. Don't know why it's doing that. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Zero approach. I don't know why it has us going back to VLN again. Let's see. I've never seen this before. Alright, so I don't know why it's doing that. It keeps trying to go back to this waypoint. And I'm going to try and edit this flight plan. But you can even have the option to remove it. So we're gonna have to fly this guy manually, it looks. Alright. Let's go heading mode. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. This is why I normally try and put in the approach like as soon as I set up my flight plan, which you shouldn't have to do. Like, this is so weird. I'm looking forward to switching to a different aircraft, to be honest. Like, I love the King Air, but this FMS leaves much to be desired. Alright, so let's just fly using heading mode for now. I literally have no clue what's going on. So right now it's seeing Vogat as the next waypoint. So we're gonna go ahead and start planning our descent. And what I'll do, so I want to do about 1,800 feet. That's normally a good descent, a good target descent for me. So we're at 30,000, and we want to descend down to, maybe it's 50, is it 5,000? 5,500. Just double checking. We are going down to 5,000 feet. And King Air descends at about 220 knots. So about 70 nautical miles out from Vogap is when we'll start our descent. And once we're in descent, I'll come back and you'll stay with me until we land the aircraft in Edmonton. So I'll hit you guys when I get back. This is your boy FlyIsland Guy. Take care. What is going on, everybody? So we are descending into Edmonton now. We are at 6,800 feet, and we're going down to 5,000 feet. Actually descending a lot faster than I thought I would, because we're about to hit our altitude about 20 plus nautical miles out. So not sure how I miscalculated that.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
But I did. So if memory serves me right, I've been to Alberta I've been to Edmonton twice. Sorry, let me just get rid of this warning. Yeah, I've been to Edmonton twice, and there, remember the airport is a bit of a ways out from the actual city itself. So
landing gear. Landing gear.
So I don't expect to see too much in terms of like too many urban views as we head towards the airport. But, you know, we may pass over the city. I actually have no idea where Edmonton is in relation to the airport right now. Let me just check. Okay. So I'm just looking in OnAir, the map inside here. And according to this, Edmonton is to the north of the airport. So I'll be off to the right a little bit. I'm also flying, just using the heading mode right now to fly and stay on course, because for some odd reason, when I put in the, as you saw before, when I put in the approach for Edmonton International, it added some weird. Well, it basically pointed me back to one of the waypoints that we passed before. So, yeah. So hopefully once we reach this next waypoint, I will just go back into nav mode and we can fly the rest of the approach properly. So we're 12 nautical miles now, or less than 12 nautical miles outside of the initial approach fix. So I kind of like to go into this view, see how things look outside. Yeah, we're just flying really low right now. Because we came in a little early with our descent. So the airport is a bit of a ways off, kind of out this way. So I don't know if I read the weather before, but current weather right now in Edmonton, we are looking at winds out of 170, so almost out of the south, and at 10 knots. And visibility is 20 miles. Temperature is 4 degrees C. So, looking good today for a landing. Shouldn't have too much issues. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a crosswind on landing. Not much though. Alright, so we're about to cross the Vogap waypoint. So I think I'm gonna, once we cross over, I'm gonna try and switch back to nav mode again and see if that does not cause any issues. Alright, so we're at 5.5 nautical miles for Oh, we passed it. Let's go into nav mode now. Ah, man, it's still pointing to Vogap. Alright, so the waypoint didn't update for some reason, which sucks. That's fine, dude. Whatever. So basically just going to be in heading mode for the most part.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
I'm going to slow down.
Landing
And
gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
so it's like Edmonton there. I think out in this direction. Alright. So let's go to say 210 for now. What is it on here? 200. We'll go a little more than 200. Just so we could get back on plan. The airport in front of us. Alright, so I'm just descending down to 4,500. click approach mode. Just curious to see if this is going to work. It is not. Okay. Alright, we're going to have to fly this in by hand, so I'm going to turn off autopilot. And I'm just going to watch our glide slope. So we'll go gear down and full flaps. This is beautiful, man. Alright, so I can see the pappies. I'm just going to try and stay on profile. Saying we're too low now, according to the glide path. Got two whites, two reds on the pappies. Now we're getting too low again. So we're fully hand flying this approach right now. No autopilot. So I'm hoping I get a nice smooth landing. Honestly, there's plenty of runway to work with, so no reason to try and slam the plane down as quickly as possible.
Wind 190 at 9 knots.
500.
So we got our gear down. We're a little low on approach. We're a little left of the runway as well. Okay, line up in the center, looking good. Throttles.
Landing time log.
All right. Kind of made a little mistake there with the throttles. We're good now. All right. So we'll make the left here. park right by this guy. Okay. Landing lights off. Alright folks, so welcome to Alberta.
Engine off time logged. Flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Dropped off our payload. Looks like we're actually dinged for delivering this late. Maybe not. Don't know. But anyway, all in all, yeah, we had a 0.5%. Oh yeah, no, we had a. Says delay penalty 39,000. Although I don't know if that's actually the penalty or if it's just or if that's just what the penalty is for delivering it late. But anyway, all's well that ends well. We landed and everything is good to go. So we are here. So hope you guys enjoyed this flight. I don't know. I for one am looking forward to moving up and out of this guy really soon. But there's gonna be a ways to go because we are still going through our North American tour, and I'd say we're about halfway along the way now. I'm just making our way over to the west coast of Canada and the west. Well, we're making along the way to the west coast in general. So I'm not sure where we're gonna go next. I'll maybe see if we can get a job that'll take us into BC. And then from BC we could go down to Washington or California. But we'll see how things go, alright? One thing I'm enjoying about this tour is that I'm just kind of going where flying by the seat of my pants, going by wherever the OnAir gods see fit to go. So hope you're enjoying the ride with me as well. That's it for me. It's your boy FlyIsland Guy. I'll catch you on the next flight. Take care.